So while we've gone over everything within Centipede, I simply want to go over the different patterns and to show where they are within the file, the code itself. The strategy pattern currently is only really implemented with the input. We have, as I said, our base input manager. However, we have the AI or keyboard manager. The player does not know or care which type it has. It only knows it has the input. And because the base class has this check input, we can call it, and then the appropriate one will be called. The player manager, as I mentioned, is in charge of setting up this, which manager the player gets. So the player never knows if it has the keyboard or the AI, and it doesn't care. Next, we have the observer pattern. The prime example of this is with the bullet itself. The player will simply create the bullet, and however, when the bullet dies, it uses the observer pattern by telling the player that it has been destroyed. And then once the player receives this notification, it can free up space for a new bullet. Simple factory. As I mentioned, every single factory uses the simple factory. We have our instance, pointer instance, yada yada. We have our terminate. And if we go into our game end, we can see all of the factories that we are using right there. Singleton, again, all the factories are singletons. Actually, no, these are all the singletons. The factories are what are called the factories. Next, we have the finite state machine. And this is used with the centipede move states. As you can see, we have all of these move states. The centipede has one at a time, and when it runs out, once it reaches the end of the array, it calls get next state, and it gets a new movement for the centipede, so that it's always it moves through like a finite state machine. And that should be everything that I need to cover for the centipede.